Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, I'm your host, Greg Deckelman. This is Occupy Little Rock Radio today on KABF 88.3 FM in Little Rock, Arkansas. Good afternoon. I'm joined in the studio today with Chris Nielson and Kaitlin Lott, and we have a jam-packed show for you today. But I'm actually going to start off with a little bit of music today and stuff. An old track from the Sweet Magnolia Band of the 70s entitled Land Stop Dying. I think it has great pertinence to our current system and our current government, our current situation in this country that we now find ourselves, because this land is dying, and politically it's dying, socially it's dying in a lot of ways. So I hope you enjoy this tune, Sweet Magnolia. Welcome back. Who says that songs have got to be, 4 minutes and 20 seconds or anything like that? Yeah. I mean, that's just not the way it works, and so forth. So, yeah, I've always really enjoyed that tune. I've enjoyed playing that song. I enjoyed listening to that song. It's got some really poignant words and lyrics and stuff. So, everyone that's listening to us for the first time, we want to welcome you, because you're not used to hearing us at this time of day. You're used to hearing us on Tuesdays at noon. Well, we have moved the program so Saturdays at 6 p.m. until 7 p.m. We're glad to be here. And in that note, I need to tell you that to keep this program and all of the programs on KABF, we need your donation. We need your pledge of dollars. And that can be $1. It can be $2. It can be $3.79. It can be $5. It can be $20. It can be whatever that you can afford. You obviously listen to the station, and we obviously bring you the truth. This programming brings you the truth, unvarnished, unbought off, non-commercialized, non-corporatized. Is corporatized the word? It is.
It is now.
It is. Yeah. So, but you get the point. So, if you can go to KABF.org, use your smartphone, you can donate. You can call into this program at 501-433-0088. You can donate that away as well. And you can call into the program today and ask us. This is an Ask Anything hour. You can ask us anything. You can ask me why that Chris has more hair on his left arm than he does on his right arm, and I'll have the answer for you. Okay? I almost couldn't get that out because I was laughing myself. But yeah, and I'll be happy to tell you why he has more hair on his left arm than he does on his right. And speaking of Chris, I want to turn it over to him now for an occasion. You said you have a special announcement, is that correct?
You might want to bring
I see that now. Go ahead.
I have a special comment. Sort of a throwback to Keith Overman's special comments.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, here we go. On this special segment of Occupy Little Rock Radio. The only people who make life unfair.
Yeah, you need to talk up a little bit there, big guy.
The only people who make life unfair are the ones who are saying life is unfair. That's a very interesting comment that I come back from. I heard this back in the 70s. This has always been the case with tricksters. Only diseased minds of greedy, arrogant tricksters and manipulators believe in owning and controlling all things and all life.
And they only own it and really control it if you let them.
Right.
Money is not a weapon to be used to inflict suffering upon all human beings, but only as a constructive tool to aid the community in functioning. To exploit this tool is to invite the wrath of humanity for the end of it.
Hear that, guys? It's time for you to get wrathful. We need people.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, humanity not only got here to this point by cooperating, mutually assisting each other to form families, form tribes, villages, and communities. Without cooperation of love and understanding for each other, and life goes extinct. It does. As a listener-supported strive to bring our listeners, trees and tribes, collective cooperative effort of Occupy and other mutual support movements around Little Rock and the rest of the world. I applaud the addition of Democracy Now!, a listener-supported program to KABF this week. Through listener cooperation and support, this community continues to function. So we must maintain and sustain our moving on. In the latest local happenings, a judge has ruled to enjoin the latest abortion ban.
Yep.
ACLU has won their injunction. And so now they have time to...
That was what, U.S. Supreme Court Justice Susan Wright? Is that correct?
Yes,
No,
Susan Wright, yeah.
No.
She is not a U.S. Supreme Court justice. She is a district judge.
Okay,
A
I think
United
I
States-
may have read a different story. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. The United States Supreme Court justice would be in Washington.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that. I'm tired. I must
Yeah.
have not been paying too much
She
attention.
was stuck in traffic a while ago, and I know why she feels that way, because she took in all these car views, and she's confused.
You know, I drove by Mayflower and I did get a headache again. This is
Yeah.
getting ridiculous. And they're still doing the cleanup. The
Yeah.
cleanup crew is
So,
still out there.
is that why you were slowed down and when you called me?
No, I was slowed down because a car flipped in the median.
Oh. Maybe that driver got confused.
Well, that was between Mayflower and Maumelle coming from Little Rock, so I doubt. But
Okay, well.
Moving on, in Mayflower news, they have found out that, yes, the seam that was on that pipe was a poorly welded seam.
yes.
There was a reason why.
Ah, really? That's news.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me continue. It was in a section where there was no development over top of the pipeline. So, this was not only just because of
So a naked pipe.
it was an outdated well. It was an old well. It was an old pipe.
Yeah.
65 plus years.
Running backwards above maximum
Running
capacity.
in the opposite direction over a pressure capacity.
Wow.
With
How many
a-
sections
with
of
a-
pipe like that do we have
Yeah.
in that
And
1,500 miles?
Also, when it was developed, it was not developed for tar sands. It was developed for something a lot less acidic. Yeah.
Developed for heavy crude. Actually, it was
Right.
actually developed for light sweet crude. Then they changed the designation 2 years later after.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Tar sands is a different oil. Okay, I get all that. But the stuff that they put in it to make it flow through the pipe is the real problem.
Yes,
is
it's
it
very,
not?
very
Yeah.
corrosive.
Yes. Okay. So when you say tar sands oil, what you really mean is the mixture.
Tar sands, chemical, whatever.
Yeah,
It's a
right.
chemical
The
cocktail.
mixture that they pump through that.
Yes.
So I'm reluctant to call it oil.
Yeah.
It's a
Well,
high-
and you know what? The federal government to this point has agreed with you. It hasn't been called oil, which is why they didn't have to pay into the oil spill cleanup when they started running this.
Yeah, I know. That's one of those posts that I put up on the site on the Occupy Little Rock Facebook page. And I read that story twice to understand exactly what they're doing there. And it's a quote-unquote technicality to not call it oil. And they could have changed that, and they should have, but it's a perfect example of the insidious relationship between oil and government, because they know damn well if this spill is worse than if they'd have dumped out, if you'd have went and opened up quarts of oil and poured it out everywhere. No, not as big a deal as what this is.
Actually, it is a big deal.
It is a big deal, but not as a big deal. It won't go airborne and do as much damage.
There's a couple of ways
Right.
about this that they are trying to spin. First off, tar sand bitumen is only called bitumen in Canada. Once it crosses the U.S. border, it's considered a petroleum product, meaning it does fall within EPA as well as...
But it's not, quote, oil that you can get fined for winding up on the ground.
Yeah.
That's my point.
That is true.
Right. Well,
It's a
those
dense-
apples
it's
and
a-
oranges there.
Yeah, no, but the thing is, when they call it petcoke, it means a highly dense petroleum product. It means it still falls within the cleanup guidelines. And
It has to because of the benzene.
So basically the point you're trying to make is that they legally don't have to pay into the fund, but the fund has to cover the cleanup. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid you were saying.
Yes.
However, now they have to pay an extra billion because of the fact that Greenpeace, as well as the first and a few other environmentally active movements that are actually doing without money and actually spreading the word organically, are actually one of the most respected things, sovereign nations, Lakota, Nakota, and Dakota, that were actually negotiating this allowing of Trans-Canada Pipeline to their nations. No, they walked out. They walked out in a negotiation with the U.S. and Canada over the fact that, number one, they were not told that they were actually promised some what they call royalty rights for transporting oil through their lands. Unfortunately, somebody told them that they were going to renege on it.
Wow, that's never happened in the history of this country that we have told the Indian tribe something and then we didn't follow through with it. Wow. Oh, call it. Alert the media. Oh, wait, we are the media. I'm sorry.
The good news is,
I apologize to the Indian.
the sovereign nations, as well as the indigenous rights movement, along with, I don't know,
Seriously, Caleb, stop texting and calling me. I'm trying to record on the phone.
we're trying to record this program. Hopefully somebody...
Caleb, you're listening out there. Kaitlin says, don't call her. You can text me on my phone.
We're trying to record this live.
Yeah, we're using our phone to record the program.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough supporters that are doing that yet, but we do encourage those that you are listening in, please record our program so that you can actually share this with other friends. Make sure.
And I will post it today. I know.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got a backlog of stuff to post from the last year and 3 months.
Yeah. Anyway, good news is the
We've been busy, sorry.
March on Monsanto is gaining steam
Right.
nationally.
And I heard that they were in grocery stores last week, too, explaining to people how to find GMOs in their products.
They've actually helped to develop an app.
And, yes, I have the app on my phone,
Yes.
actually. I cannot remember the name of it. I'm going to have to look it up real quick. But you can scan things while you're at the grocery store.
Boycott.
Yeah, that's right. Buycott. B-U-Y-C-O-T-T. It is a free app. You can scan the things you're about to buy, and it will tell you, like, if you put in Monsanto as the company you want to boycott, it will throw up a red alert every time it scans a Monsanto product.
Please tell your friends. Please tell your friends. Please tell your neighbors. This is a great way of actually, avoiding Monsanto products. And there are a lot of them. And a lot of them are being
Well,
You can also here in Little Rock, you may want to put in Delta Timber.
Yes.
The deal in the Maumelle watershed. This will scan it and tell you that the Delta Timber product. Also, Coke Brothers. There are several others that are built into it.
Yes.
That's KOCH.
Now, I don't encourage you to put all of those in there because otherwise you may never meet again. I'm just saying.
No, but there are some.
But,
You
yeah.
can't.
Well, depends on how big your garden is.
That's true.
And everybody needs to be growing a garden. Everybody needs to be growing a garden.
If you can't, go down to Dunbar Garden, Community Gardens on
Right.
17th Chester.
That's right.
Volunteer.
Please
leave
volunteer,
food.
and you'll get.
Yeah, there's
Right.
so many more. There's more than just Dunbar Community Garden.
Yes.
That's just the one that's
We
downtown.
would like to welcome Caleb Baumgardner to the
Yes,
show.
who's been
Who has
calling
been
us.
calling me. Sorry about that. We're recording on my phone.
Hola.
Pull up that chair over there. It's got your name on it.
Solidarity.
Okay, I got a philosophical question for the 5,000 of us that are in the studio here today. All right. If Exxon came in tomorrow, Monday morning, let's say, and they come into Mayflower, and they bring their checkbook, their debit card, whatever they got.
I like this so far.
And they say, okay, here is, and this is actually more of a serious question, really. I'm kind of making fun, but I really mean this. Okay, and they gather all those residents that are around there, the ones that had to evacuate, and the ones across the cove, and all the people that really are affected that are there. And they set them down, and they go, here's a check for $50 billion. Would you sign off ever going after Exxon again once we walk away from cleaning this up? That means you take care of all your health stuff. You take care of everything that's ever connected with this from now and generations for here to come for $50 billion. Did I say hypothetical?
Yeah.
I think that I did.
Here's the thing with that. Caitlin is right. You as an individual cannot sign off on another person's.
No, but obviously they would contractually go to every one of those people and go, because you are collectively taking this $50 billion, you're going to sign this little piece of paper here, signing away your rights. Not each person gets $50 billion. I mean, collectively they get $50 billion. I want to be clear.
I know what you're saying there, but I think that they might. With that amount, yeah, they probably would.
So we're for sale. That's what you're saying. We are for sale. Is money everything? That's the whole point here.
Can I finish my point?
You can, but I'm just making it clear. Think carefully about your answer because, okay, all right.
I'm saying they would, not I would. I'm not saying that for myself I would do it. I'm saying that most likely they would, yes.
Okay.
However, 20 years from now, when they finally admit that there's oil in the Conway, in the Arkansas River, and streaming, by the way, that means, I believe, to an ocean, I think it becomes a larger problem and that they would see more at that time.
Caleb?
Well, realistically, this is just a law student in me.
All right, go for it.
Mulling this over. You're talking about a collective agreement involving, let's just throw a number out, 2,000 people in Mayflower or something like that.
I think the affected number of people would be closer to 1,000.
Okay.
Just my personal guess.
Okay,
Maybe 1,000.
Even so, 1,000.
Let me divide. I'll divide 50 billion into that. Go ahead.
Right. 1,000 people. And you guys all, you were there back in the early days. We had general assemblies with 100 people. Do you remember how much fun those were to run? And to get people to come to a cooperative agreement and reach a consensus, it can be done with 100, 200 people, but it's tough. Now imagine 1,000 people, all of whom have been adversely affected by this, but have also suffered different types of damages, and also people of varying socioeconomic statuses. That some of them need that money more than most, and some of them just want to get paid, and some of them the money is more important. So you have 1,000 people with all these different motivations, and some of them will sign on to it, and some of them won't. But this is a legally binding contract. At what point, what density of party consensus to agree to this do you have to reach before the contract becomes legally binding? Does it have to be unanimous? Because if it does, you're never going to get that. I've not had admin law.
I was just watching your
Well, in other settlement cases, Caleb, what has happened when companies have done that is that they took a consensus of 90% and they paid them that money, and then they litigated the other 10% and they took their chances.
Are you? Is this possible for your hypo, or is it all or nothing?
Well, it's possible for the hypo.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm with Kaitlin. I think that a lot of people probably would, take that check, and there would be, in my opinion, you have smarter people who would choose to litigate for various.
Well, here's the figure you got.
Okay.
$50 million per person.
Right.
I think that you would still find environmentalists who would be insulted by that number.
Yeah.
And who would litigate. I do.
Well, consider the fact that, the factor of say, let's take Love Canal, for instance. Right. A very, very, very famous case. And basically, the companies that were involved that were sued, that had actually dumped there in Love Canal, and the fact that it became the flashpoint of the
tell it to somebody in Mayflower it's minor.
Well, no, I know that. But I'm saying on the scale of still, this is pretty minor.
This versus Exxon Valdez.
Yes,
This
which
amount of money,
was
you could
actually
stand up and make a
2005
big
was
freaking
sponsored.
difference. I really believe that.
They vacated the decision on the Exxon Valdez back in 2005. So you've got both kinds of outcomes. You have what they call beneficial, which is rough now, and they are still doing a super fun cleanup on that, and they're doing a really good job. But then you have Exxon Valdez, where Exxon basically they did their nice little show, hid all the oil, and basically drug out a litigation of over 20 years over a 20-year period where they ended up winning and getting rid of the decision.
Sounds like you know a lot more about what's been going on with Exxon than I do. So I'll ask you a question. I saw something that I'm not sure is true. Do you know if it's true that they were told they had to shut down the entire Pegasus pipeline?
Yes.
I was
Yes,
just
they
wondering.
had to because number one, they
The
had
second spill in
there were multiple spills, not just the secondary. There were multiple spills up and down the Pegasus pipeline, above and below, active Mayflower, above and below the Mayflower. I mean, north and south along that pipeline. They've had minor spills, and whatever, but they also had a problem with the distillery or the refinery. That was.
That's some strong stuff you're drinking.
Hey.
Actually, that is
I
a proper chemical process. Proper chemical process. It's actually much more of a distillery than it is a refinery.
Yeah, if you breathe that benzene, you're gonna talk, bro.
The thing is
You got benzene goggles on.
I mean, yeah.
yes, but the thing is in chemical process, is the correct term. That is not. They changed the refinery into a distillery. We're actually distilling pet coke to get it transported into the U.S. It wasn't necessarily a refinery. It was a modified product. Refining is basically sort of like distilling, but it's not quite. They do a lot more complex stuff and use a lot more. This was stuff that actually had to be processed to where this stuff is hard. And I'll tell you what, if you want to move through a pipeline, you've got to put a lot of extra stuff like benzene, toluene, and a few other carcinogens that are incredibly known to cause cancer to get this stuff to move because it's caustic and it will stick to the side of the pipe. It's like if you ever seen a whoopie tar where they'll actually put whoopie tar. They literally have to have a fired tar melter on the ground. They have to run propane heated tar melter in order to get that tar pumped up onto a roof in order to lay down fresh tar.
Well, back to the subject at hand.
Back
The
to
money. You didn't answer the question.
The money is this. As far as the environmental, we have had what they call a hugely diminishing return when it comes to the defanging of EPA's enforcement arm, as well as its planning ability, as well as being able to assist in civil decisions, as well as criminal decisions. EPA has not had an actual criminal case since before Lookman. There was a case where they were actually doing a post facto.
Do you trust the court system to bring a criminal charge at this point against Exxon to hold them legally responsible and make sure that they pay the adequate amount of money, whatever that is, to these residents? Really?
It just occurred to me that if you ask Exxon to pay $50 billion, they'll most likely bankrupt themselves.
No.
Over
You'd
the
be way
past-
wrong.
Over the past 10 years, ExxonMobil has over $3.7 trillion. So
Yeah.
$50 billion.
It's an unfathomable amount of money, isn't it?
The point is that $50 billion is actually a whole lot better than you will ever see them have to pay out. Ever.
That's right.
So, quite frankly, that's a good enough damage.
And they did. The way
Chris, answer the question. Is that enough money?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It is not enough.
You say it is enough money, Caleb?
No. For me, I'm with Kaitlin. Just to clarify.
Okay.
Me personally, if I was there, I wouldn't take that settlement check, but I think that a lot of people would, and I can understand why.
$50 million.
It is.
And I mean, look at the lotto that's happening today. It's $600 million, and you could hit that, right?
You're going to
which is built on a house of cards like you can't believe. That's another whole program.
Right.
Peace.
But that's a whole other.
Yeah.
Getting back to
This is my question that I've been asking for a while.
They stopped trickling when Reagan got into office.
I don't know if there's ever been any trickling. I'm sorry.
There hasn't been.
Oh, the rich guy dropped
that
a
was a
nickel out of his pocket.
They
Whoa.
have actually, basically since FDR, they have managed, or actually since Truman, the wealthy 1% have managed to actually turn off the spigot of sharing the profits with the U.S. public.
Look at what the minimum wage should be.
Yes.
The guy who came up with trickle down just came out a few months ago and said they cooked the books, they cooked it up, and he's ashamed of it. I wish I could remember his name right now.
I actually saw there's actually three guys.
It's like the guy who introduced Citizens United, went in front of the Supreme Court. Now he's had a change of heart and the conscience bit him in the ass, and he said, hey, I shouldn't have done that. That's a bad decision.
Jack Abramoff did the same thing.
Yes.
Here's the deal. These corporations rely on the justice, our judicial system. They rely on it in order to handle what they call enforced contract. Unfortunately, because of the fact that there is what they call a rampant disregard of contract law, in many cases, if you really look deep, you will find an incredible, huge bias in contract law, especially when it comes to settlements,
Yeah.
damages, and this is the one thing that they don't realize. They call the tort. That tort reform basically gutted a lot of contract law. Now, the thing is this
Lots of
country,
people know
this
that.
country was based on covenant and contract. We basically founded this country, our forefathers founded this country on what they call a collective contract, a covenant, a social contract.
Sure.
The Constitution is a covenant.
What people couldn't read and write to the level they do now in
Yes.
terms of sheer percentage of the population. So when you shook hands with this guy, that was your word, that was your bond. Now, if you formalized it in paper later, those sorts of things came up, and everybody recognized that. A lot of people couldn't even read that. And they just put an X on there, and they trusted. Would you ever put your X on something you couldn't read? Really? I don't think anybody in the room would say that. It all boils back down to the slow gutting of everything in our country because of money and evil and greed. End of story. Do you remember what Craig O'Neill did on the day we got evicted, by the way? When he put his little piece out and said, is greed a value in America? And he asked a very important question. And a lot of people thought he was putting Occupy Little Rock down. Wrong. No, he was not. He was speaking directly to us in a way that only he could because he's a member of the media. That's his way of saying, hey, I get it. I get it. He can't come out and say that. He can't come. It's a shame they can't, but they can't.
Greg O'Neill, his character, his shtick, he's the clown guy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a funny guy.
Right.
So he can get away with saying, that's part of his routine. Is he can ask that question, and they'll only take it as seriously.
The point is, you go back and watch that, which I recently did on purpose, and it was a very serious piece, as only Craig O'Neill could do it, and he put his spin on it, and he did talk about the crazy uncle that you needed, everybody's got one, and referred to us like that, because that gets people, we kind of are the crazy uncle. That's okay. I take that label just fine. No problem. But that doesn't mean the crazy uncle is always wrong. And we're cool with that stuff. And I've actually since spoken to Mr. O'Neill. He's a really nice guy and stuff. I got it. A lot of us got it and stuff. And I really appreciated myself personally. I appreciated what he did. It spoke to what was really there in a way that touched more people in Little Rock than we'll ever know. No, that
All
probably
the
was.
negativity came from comments.
Yes.
That's true.
Reading through the comments was kind of soul crushing.
You could tell which ones were the ignorant comments and the ones that were actually
I think the bright ones had let the piece speak for itself. They didn't feel the need to comment. And then when they look at the idiot commentary below that, they thought, why would I want to get into an argument?
Yes.
And so they just don't comment.
So, but the thing is, even so, silent consent or silent support doesn't necessarily help out. The community likes a little bit of good feedback, and so the reason why I'm trying to focus on the triumphs of Occupy, the fact that we're still here, and the fact that even David Letterman, even some of these other people like Colbert or Jon Stewart, and it still is, there are those that have stuck with us time and again, nationally or locally, that have said, listen, it's, Occupy, they get it. Occupy is the community. Occupy is the active community that says, we want you to stop this. This is wrong.
Well,
No more dysfunction.
that brings us into something that we need to stop this conversation. We've been all over the map, and I'm cool with that. But Kaitlin brought this up right before the program, and we need to delve into 5 minutes of this. Please turn that microphone around. So I want the audience, everybody listening in Little Rock right now, Monday morning, after you hear what she's fixing to tell you, if you don't pick up the phone and call City Hall and talk to the mayor or the city manager or your representative that's on the city council and publicly ream their backside, then you're a chicken. Because if you don't get mad about this, then you are the most brain-dead citizen that we can hope to ever live next door to.
What's going on?
Yes.
Okay, the street drainage fund, the taxes that are coming out over the next 10 years.
The bond issue.
The bond issue. They came out about a month ago to all the different wards and proposed different streets, ones they were going to go with. When they were done, they asked for problems with it. They asked for anything that the input that people wanted, and then they said, okay, we're going to come back to each of these wards at least 2 more times before we send it to the board to vote on it. We have had members calling. I have called myself to ask when the next one for each ward is going to be. I want any ward. Tell me any ward that you're going to again. They kept saying we haven't scheduled them yet. We haven't scheduled them yet. I just got off the internet and checked the agenda for Tuesday. They are voting on the final decision on each of those wards Tuesday at 6 o'clock. It's item 17 on the agenda. You can go to littlerock.org and go to, I believe, on the side panel, it's like board of directors, and then you can choose view a meeting agendas or something like that. It's the agenda for May 21st, and it's item number 17. If you click on the link to the side that shows the resolution or the ordinance or whichever one it's going to be called, it will bring up a PDF file of every one that they're talking about for each ward. I encourage you, call them, ream them for not going back out into the areas, and then show up on Tuesday and tell them exactly what you think about their choices, because they apparently don't care what the public has to say.
They do not care. I'm going to hold back on city manager Moore right now. But, well, no, wait. Here's why. I'll explain myself.
City manager Moore and public works is required to set up those meetings.
This is correct, but I'm still going to hold back on that. And here's the only reason why. Because I personally met with him about this. And believe me, at 8:01 Monday morning, he's getting a phone call from me. And I'm going to say, look, we had an hour discussion about how this process is going to happen. What changed? And then I want to hear from him as to why it changed.
I would like to see it on this radio show next week.
Why it changed.
Why did it change? Because you know what?
Who requested it? Because he is controlled by the board. If the board told him to bring it to a vote, he has no choice. And that's why I say, wait a minute, I'm gonna hold off, because if the board and members on the board tell him to do something, he's pretty much bound to do that. And so it could be out of his hands. And in that case, then the only indignation, I'm so that you have is with your representatives. And they bank on the fact that you won't show your butt up to City Hall and do something about it. And if you as citizens want to continue to have the bullshit government that we have in Little Rock, then don't show up on Tuesday and let them run the show and let them spend the money and let them throw it all out in West Little Rock and let downtown Little Rock rot and let the rest of Little Rock rot. And that's exactly what will happen. So they're just dying to look for something to spend money on that they don't have anything to spend money on? Are you kidding me?
It's very telling. We all remember the tax we voted for years ago, $22 million tax. Well, I say for collectively. That's what I meant. I didn't mean individually. There are plenty of people who voted against it. But the tax that passed by the citizens of Wood-Lott, it was supposed to upgrade all of our infrastructure, and it was supposed to, be split among the city. The proof is in the pudding, people. Because I remember a picture that was taken. Mark Stodel was there. I believe Bruce Moore was there, and some other folks were there. It was over near the Little Rock Country Club in West Little Rock, and they were fixing some drainage over there. And this was the first big thing. They trotted this out. They were proud of it. This was the first big thing that they spent that slush fund money on, was to
Fix a pothole in Pleasant Valley.
Was to fix something in Pleasant Valley. Like a block from the country club. Seriously, you can't make this stuff up.
I know.
Like, if that's not an enormous stick my tongue out middle finger to the rest of Little Rock telling you who's really running the show, then I don't know what is. And Greg's right. It is a profound irony that we allegedly practice, we formally practice representative government in our city government, but they're counting on not representing you. So please, prove them wrong.
I swear, dude, if you call them, pick up the phone, call them, send them an email, and do it over and over and over and over and over again, and they'll get it. But unless you do that, they're going to sit there and they're going to have not one middle finger for you, they're going to have two, and you're going to like it. So what are you saying? They've already put the signs up like they know they're going to do this project before they voted. Before they voted. Let's make this really clear to the audience.
Well, I was going to tell you guys, but unfortunately, we'll keep it close to there was a little unknown thing. Remember how the hospitals were pushing to get some more what they call FAA airspace for their helicopter pads and such? They also forgot to tell us that, by the way,
Really?
That's Homeland Security stuff, probably. Yeah. Speaking of job creators, our job here is to bring you to Tuesday. We can't do that without your pledge. We can't do it without your pledge. The truth is, we need your money. We're trying to raise $20,000 in this current pledge drive, to keep things going. there's a few people that might be able to donate $100. Great. You know, you were going to blow $100 on a Major League Baseball ticket. Well, maybe you should blow that on KABF, and it really wouldn't be blowing it.
No.
You know, we need this money. You know, we just had to put in a tower. We just had a whole bunch of new equipment. I mean, come on. The reason why we've been here 29 years doing this, it's because it's the right thing.
It's a necessity.
It is.
Think of it this way, folks. The truth is priceless. And all we're asking for is
Not 50 billion. Not 50 billion.
Although, if you want to give us $50 billion, then we'll take it.
You can have a program too.
Yeah, well, what I was going to say is, the thing is we got here on mutual aid. The reason why we got to this point as a human species is that, number one, that's how we got here. Hatch folks. Evolution doesn't work that way. We basically got this.
There will always be greedy human beings, unfortunately, but we need to marginalize them. Period. That's right.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Wow.
They
Yeah.
don't want to invest in the future. There's people out there that don't want to invest in the future.
And my bet is because over 90% of the kids in that school are on freelance programs.
Take this phone call. Occupy Little Rock Radio, you're on the air. Oh, where's the phone? Occupy Little Rock Radio, you're on the air.
Yeah, man, I was going to make a plan.
All right, very cool, very cool. What's your name? What's your name?
My name's John.
Hey, John. I will take your personal information off of the air and
That
stuff
might be a good idea.
and so forth, obviously. But I wanted to tell you thank you so much. We really appreciate it because
No problem, man. We got to get KABF on the air.
we got to keep KABF. Yeah, we've got to do that.
Yeah,
I mean, whereabouts are you? Are you in Little Rock?
I am.
Very good. Have you listened to Occupy Little Rock Radio before?
No, this is the first time, actually, but I like what I'm hearing.
Well, thank you so much. Hey, you're the man of the hour, Don. Thank you so much. Yeah, we were Tuesdays at noon to 1. Now we're Saturdays at 6 to 7. Tell your neighbors, your friends, your enemies. Tell everybody to listen. We appreciate that so much.
All those greedy people out there, they need to contribute some money to the radio station.
That's correct. I mean, that's exactly
If
correct.
they're so greedy, they should have lots of money.
Well, it's in their self-interest to keep this going.
Yes, very much so.
Or maybe it isn't. Some people, they don't want us on the air because we don't use it.
That's right.
That's exactly right.
That's 100% right. Well, I'm gonna.
Powers that be do not want an informed public.
Oh, yes.
Boy.
It's easier to have an informed public that might, might react to some of the things that they do. So,
it really is, and I mean the dumbing down of the system in the education system and so forth. I mean, there's a whole slew of evidence that proves that we as a society have gone. I was talking about this last week on the air. I saw an 8th grade test that it took to pass the 8th grade in the late 1890s in Kansas, and it scared the hell out of me. And I thought, and you had to have 80% right to pass the 8th grade test.
And the questions they were asking were a lot harder than what they had.
Wow, you can't imagine. I mean, I dare say there are people graduating college that would get a lot of this test wrong. And I'm not exaggerating. I'll print this thing out and ask some of the questions on the air next week.
That looks a good idea.
Yes.
Are you smarter than an 8th grader?
In 1895.
In 1895, 8th grader, by the way.
Right. Well, that's right. People had to have a better education back then.
Well, they did. I mean, there's a few questions on there that wouldn't be pertinent to necessarily what we do to today's society. One of them being figuring how many bushels of wheat you can get on the back of a certain kind of wagon and stuff. But it was a thinking math problem, and a lot of these questions were thinking, reasoning, think through the problem and figure it out kind of questions instead of something that you went through and rotely remembered, by repetition over and over and over and over and over and over again, and finally until it, sunsets on you.
People didn't have all these distractions that we have today.
Yeah.
They used to read for entertainment. And they actually learned something, from reading. Reading was the escape back in those days.
Really,
You didn't have any major distractions. You had work and you went home and you read.
Yeah.
That was it. With the radio and television and video games.
You had time to think.
boy.
That's what people did. They learned.
People could think back then.
Hey, anyway, listen. You'll take me off. You're still on the air?
Yeah, we're still on the air, but I'll put you on hold and take. I'll put you on hold and I'll come back to you in a second here. I'll turn this over to them and I'll get your information. John, thank you so much for calling. We appreciate that. Thank you.
No problem, man. Support KABF.
All right, yay! All right, let me hold. There's hold. Okay, he's on hold. Honestly, there's a lot of listeners out there like John, and I see them every time I'm downtown and stuff. And thank you, John, and the rest of you out there. We need you too. We need you too. We've got about 4 minutes and 50-something seconds left. You guys fight amongst yourself. I'm gonna take his information off the air and let's wrap up this program.
Actually, since this is my debut on Kaitlin Lott Radio.
Hey, you've called in before.
Yeah, well, my debut in the booth, I should say.
There you go.
I am obligated to give a couple of shout-outs. This goes out to David Perry and Alan Cooler Than Your Girlfriend Fuel, because I know you're listening.
Yes.
And I love you all very much. Alan, come be on the radio.
I was going to say, that our caller saying, dumbing down our public. Guess what? Even when you put us in the tightest spots, even the internet seems to figure out a way around and still keep the shit going.
Yeah.
And the fact that democracy now is being played on KABF, that is a big boom. It's enormous.
I was gonna say that too on the Buena Vista thing. The reason I think that the federal Department of Education has not gotten involved is because it is a very small area. The entire school district is almost 400 kids, the entire district, and it is a very poor district. So I know that this is contrary to what you will generally hear on here, but I encourage you to find those stories and post them all over Facebook and Twitter because people may say it's evil, but it's the fastest way to get the word out. The more people that know about it, the more we can do.
Well, that actually plays into
there?
Arkansas. We've had how many schools that have been consolidated or closed? School districts. I mean, come on.
They're talking about starting a new one, by the way. They're talking about opening in West Little Rock, and it would force us, I believe, to close down another school district on this side of town. We can't fund our current schools, but they want to open a new one in West Little Rock.
John, if you're listening out there, somehow the system hung you up on you accidentally. Call back. I'll pick it up off the line off the air.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
We have a little bit of issue. We're still trying to learn some of the intricacies about the
Okay. Well, I hate to bring this wonderful discussion to a close, but we absolutely kind of have to go. There's a gentleman here that's going to play a bunch of music for everybody and stuff. But I do want to encourage John to call back. We'll take your call off the air and stuff. We dropped it on the phone system there. I don't think I punched the wrong button, but no, I should have. No, it definitely dropped his call because I went back the first time and I could hear the radio coming through, but I couldn't hear him. So if for some reason it was routing the voice wrong. But no big deal. But I want to thank our listeners. I want to thank everybody in the studio. Thank you, Caleb, for coming by. You know, I'll be back. Very good. And the most important thing to take out of the show is the pledge. We need pledge money. The second most important thing is Monday morning, get with City Hall about this street and drainage. And go on Tuesday to the meeting at 6 p.m. and voice your disapproval and the blatant spending of your money in ways they said, oh no, we're not going to do it like that. And then they turn around and do it like that. You got to call them on it, folks.
Occupy City Hall.
You've got to call them on this, you know.
We will be there, or at least I will.
Yes,
I know
there
I'll
will be lots of us there, you know. So take this as fair warning, City Hall. We are going to scream to the top of our lungs in the media that how much bullshit this is. I did say the word bullshit. So thank you for listening to this Occupy Little Rock Radio.
Right on,
KABF
right on.
Radio.
Power to the people.